Josephine Motesi Kemonyo, Terina Nagucha, Btm News Today.
The story earlier on that we had read, the story, rather the body of Sarah Matike, the former State Minister of Defense who died on Saturday, has been airlifted to Kisoro district ahead of her burial tomorrow. Yesterday, Parliament paid tribute to her, with the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni describing her as a selfless person who promoted unity. We have the story.
I just came to show solidarity with the family of Dr. Mateke and with the other Ugandans, but also to bear witness to the good work this young cadre was beginning to do. I had not interacted very much with her, but the few times I meet her, she was very calm and didn't appear to be the one who is sensitive and aggressive and touchy, which is the problem of some of the other people.
I beg your pardon, with all the titles, respected Muhanguzi, you're most welcome. Yes. So the arrangement will be sorted out, dear fellow mourners, because the speaker, Mateke, to pay tribute to honor Mateke, and then they will continue with the program of council.
Sarah Mateke. After the casket state.
Quiet. So, media, you have taken note. I am about to hand over to the speaker of the district.
Of the Parliament on the Parliamentary Forum for Children have expressed concern over the executive's tendency to overlook the sectors focused on improving children's welfare. Now, they advocate for increased consideration of children's needs during the budgeting process. And also this was discussed during the meeting where MPs interacted with children alongside the Uganda Child Rights NGO network to understand the issues affecting them. Let's see this.
As children have concerns, as we heard that, they told us we are not supposed to be the ones to decide, but they should consult from us what they are supposed to do, so that from our points they can pick the sectors that they can finance, and also they trash some things that won't help us, we as children.
Children have raised issues around ending violence against children. They have raised issues around ensuring that their voices are captured, that people are actually listening to them, and that what they are actually asking for is being given. The second issue that has come out clearly is that the people who are violating their rights are the closest people to them. The parents, the guardians, the teachers, and all these other people are the ones who are actually violating their rights. So
these are the people now we have to plan for. The adults are very few in the country. The statistics have been very clear. So now we have to put all our efforts onto matters that affect children. That aside, we come back at this hour because we are starting the budget cycle. Some things may not have been fully focused on. For example, when we talk about menstrual pads for our children, when we talk about taxes on what children use right away from babies, the diapers and other things. But we want now, as the Uganda Parliamentary Forum for Children, to stand once again and look at what the budget has as far as matters of children are concerned.
Today they wanted to report to different stakeholders most especially the members of parliament, who are the key proponents of the budget, to pick their issues. One is to address issues, the gaps in the education sector that we need filled to factor in. We also look at climate change. It's an issue. They are talking of violence against children and sexual reproductive health rights. These are key concerns that call for resources in the budget.
But now let's get into the students' loan schemes. The government will extend the loan support for 1,838 learners in the academic year 2024-2025 across the divide under its students' loan scheme. The beneficiaries in this 11th cohort include a significant portion of females, taking up about 43%, which are 790 students, whereas in terms of the academic pursuits, about 466, which is 25.4%. The beneficiaries enrolled in diploma programs, and the majority, who are 1,372, are pursuing undergraduate degrees. Now, this was announced by the State Minister of Education in charge of higher learning, John Muhingo, at the Uganda Media Center earlier on. We have a story.
While announcing the beneficiaries today, the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Muhingo, admitted that the demand for students' loans has surpassed the available resources. He says the board had only 7.2 billion Uganda shillings for the students' loan scheme this financial year.
The Minister of Education and Sports has noted that many students are seeking for loans to enable them pursue higher education. And this is displayed by increasing number of applicants, which today stands at 6,661 this academic year. We shall continue to increase the number of successful loan applicants as approved in the Ministry Strategic Plan under the broader strategic objective of increasing.
According to the loan award report presented by the chairperson of the Higher Education Students Financing Board, the board received a total of 6,661 loan applicants compared to the 1,925 in the academic year 2023-2024, signifying a growth rate of 246%.
I'm happy to report that we have beneficiaries from all districts of the country, and the loan award selection process took serious consideration to ensure a national outlook through regional balance. The districts known for low participation rates in the past, like Amudat, Buvuma, Kalangala, Karenga, Madi Okolo, Obongi, Kotidu, and Moroto, all have presented learners for support this year.
Of the 6,661 applicants, only 1,838 were eligible for the scheme. Of these, 1,048 are male, while 790 were female.
1,372 students are going to pursue undergraduate programs, while 466 are going to pursue diploma programs. Honorable Minister, sir, the total number of female successful applicants, as mentioned earlier, is 790, up from 317 supported last academic year.
Recognizing the growing number of applicants, thus a need for more funding to capitalize the board, Minister Muhingo assured the board of more funding for the scheme.
My ministry will work with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and of course Parliament of Uganda, to address the challenges of funding faced by the board. We are asking for more. I'm happy to learn that 466, which is 25.4% of the awardees, are undertaking diploma programs across different disciplines.
The minister noted that the government is emphasizing vocational studies, highlighting the role they play in addressing industry needs and driving economic growth.
I therefore encourage learners to take up these diploma programs since they emphasize hands-on learning, allowing students to apply theoretical knowledge in real-world settings.
The Executive Director of Higher Education Students Financing Board, Michael Wanyama, says the board sustained the Affirmative Action Program targeting female applicants and persons with disability, where it gave a 7-point advantage to the female applicants and persons with disabilities.
The board also awarded 29 persons with disabilities to do various courses in sciences and humanitarian programs. Persons with disabilities are deliberately targeted to do any course they are admitted for that ensures that they have equal opportunities to succeed and contribute to their community.
The student loan scheme is a proactive government intervention to assist financially constrained students. Since its inception in 2014-2015 financial year, the initiative has awarded loan facilities to a total of 16,439 students. John William Ugenda, Freddie Christie Sau for Btm News Today.
Well, let's move on. This evening, the Nakawa Chief Magistrates Court has adjourned the hearing of the case of the 36 FDC Katonga leaders who were charged with terrorism to the 25th of September 2024. Now, the Grade 1 Magistrate Andrew Katuruki ordered the accused to be granted access to their IDs, phones, ATMs, passports, and also relatives. Now, the 36 FDC activists were recently picked from Kisumu in Kenya and eventually charged with terrorism. We do have more of this report.
The court session was attended by several leaders from the Forum for Democratic Change Katonga faction, led by Dr. Kiza Besigye and Doreen Nyanjula, the Deputy Lord Mayor of Kampala, including family members and activists to stand in solidarity with their colleagues. The accused's lawyer Katoto Msime started by laying grounds on which he thought were deserving for his colleagues to be granted bail, among which included the deteriorating health, a plea that was challenged by the prosecution.
Immediate attention as medical care or any extended help in regards to their health, because we believe that this honorable court or any court of justice will be interested in trying health and people that are very sound.
All of them were subject to medical examination upon admission in the prison. Now, when my brothers talk about medical, we appreciate it is a right. It's something that we need to uphold. No one disputes it. But if someone was examined upon admission and was found proper, then what would be the reason?
The defense team also accused the state of confiscating the accused's gadgets like phones and thereafter using them to call and threaten their families, an act contrary to the rights of privacy of a suspect embedded in the Constitution.
His phone has been used several times for his relatives and other friends. It's in court, Your Worship. The passwords of all the accused people were taken by force from them. And that's the infringement to the right to privacy, Your Worship. Even when the state says that the same mobile phones are used as exhibits, Your Worship, there is a procedure on how exhibits are kept and handled.
A heated exchange ensued when the defense team described the state as being blatant and arrogant in the execution of its constitutional powers, a thing that did not go well with the prosecution team.
Your Worship, we wish the record to capture with specific attention the blatant arrogance of the state.
Your Worship, we do that. We don't with due respect. We want to respect the country because of course, please, man.
I can withdraw if I can substantiate.
I am raising an issue. You can see it, you have to see it, because I'm raising the issue. This is what we learned at LDC. I think there are some statements which a trained lawyer shouldn't be seen utter in court. And most especially even before the press. Unless they are looking for press to capture them. So there are some, yes!
If I'm quiet, I can describe that. Your Worship, to continuously state that the state has leverage to use the discretion granted it by law, and the judiciary is one that strikes us. Your Worship, we pray and believe. We believe that
where the law grants you discretion, the discretion ought to be exercised judiciously.
Making his ruling, the Chief Magistrate Andrew Katurubuchi ordered that the accused be granted access to their IDs, phones, ATMs, passports and relatives.
That the accused should be allowed to access their IDs, passports, phones and ATMs. The prosecution indicated that some of the documents had been used as exhibits, while for the rest they were not aware of them. I'm aware that this is a matter whose investigations are still ongoing. However, the accused have the right to ownership of personal property. Therefore, I direct the prosecution to specify which items are to be used as exhibits. If there are those that are not going to be used as exhibits, including the phones, ATMs, passports, IDs, the same should be handed over to the respective owners.
He further instructed the prosecution to produce medical reports proving that the accused were subjected to medical examination during the next court session.
I therefore direct the prosecution to produce in court proof of medical examination of all accused persons at the next mentioned date. Regarding the medical examination of Sarah Pare at Monaco, this court was not provided with evidence constituting circumstances how Sarah Pare was taken to Monaco for medical examination. However, if there was such examination, the prosecution should equally provide proof of the same.
The court session was adjourned. The court session was adjourned to the 25th of September, 2024.
General Kaihura yesterday was right in Kampala, and he decried the long-term credit facilities to farmers and also producers in the country for business growth. Now, the general was gracing the 2024 Defense Expo that emphasized the need to allow farmers to lend money for long-term conditions. We do have more.
With 81% of the population engaged in rain-fed subsistence farming for food and cash income, the country's reliance on rain-fed agriculture remains a risk to economic growth, income of farmers, as well as export earnings. With this trend, most farmers find it hard to boost their businesses due to lack of a reasonable credit market, which denies them a chance to acquire loans from banks. In this, General Kale Kaihura, the former Inspector General of Police, retired, who resorted to now farming, has asked the government to find means of creating a reasonable market for long-lasting duration.
The options, how many production? Nima. Well, I'm in commercial agriculture, mixed farming. There are challenges. Farming is good, but the problem is, maybe I use this chance to also complain. The problem is we don't have the credit market, the banks don't have facilities for us. Because the money that they lend is for traders, not for producers. Because you can't give me a loan and you want me to pay it in 6 months or even a year for starting a banana plantation, which takes 3 years to get a bunch of banana.
He says commercial agriculture involves a high level of marketing because of its duration, which makes it hard to repay loans in a short period.
Look for contacts. So they don't give you now. They expect you to now. This is about 4 years, really, to be on the market, to market your matoke. Yet, I'm supposed to pay this loan within. If I'm lucky, they give me 6 months. 6 months for traders. Not for producers, not for farmers, even producers. We are trying to go into value addition, but there is no support.
He adds that the government has provided alternatives to wealth creation, which he appreciates, like Btm, but it only favors traders and low-income earners.
No, but the government programs are targeting, for example, Btm is targeting the lowest, the peasants, to try and bring them into the market economy. Because, for instance, you see, they have started with the 1 million household, and even that cannot. It's not everybody that is benefiting. But you cannot talk about that Btm for value addition. No, that's a different thing. Yeah. But the government has started very well, so as to really emancipate the masses, get the masses out of poverty. But without this, us who are in value addition, the program will not achieve its objectives.
General Kaihura also lauded the late Aranda for the strategic interventions like building the police institution.
The police, we remember when we organized the centenary celebrations of the police, you saw how his leadership enabled us to organize such a huge function. And obviously also building the institution of the police, as well as the other agencies under the Ministry of Internal Affairs. So obviously he's left a legacy, and rightly that's why UPDF is celebrating him.
Serena Naguja, Herbert Mugabe, Btm News Today.
These guys who come to Parliament, they just come to talk about their own personal interests. They never talk about we.
Of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Jacob Oboth has emphasized the need for increased investments in the National Enterprise Corporation, commonly known as NEC, a state-owned commercial arm of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF. He made the call during the second day of the Defense and Security Expo, a three-day event commemorating the late General Ronda Nyakairima's legacy. Let's see this.
On the second day of the first Kampala Defense and Security Expo 2024, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Jacobs Oboth emphasized the need to invest more in the company that produces goods and services for the benefit of defense forces, veterans of the UPDF and general public.
But we are not yet where we are supposed to be. And there is hope that we are going to be better. And give us a few years, Uganda will be more self-reliant, because we are producing. Reliance and dependence is that when you're able to produce the items, the equipments, and able to use the products that you manufacture and even sell out. So that's the way we are. We are basically saying what we are doing right now is the best we could do, but we need to do more.
He stressed the importance of research and development to guide the construction of the NEC hub in Luwero.
Research and development is going to guide the development of more military equipment, more items that we need in the defense industry, so that we buy from here. We are saving a lot of billions of shillings from having our MRO, our helicopters being overhauled from here. We save on each helicopter, we would be spending over $1.2 million to take it out, just transport, without the cost of repair. But now we are doing it here. So in the long run, we are going to be self-reliant.
He adds that strategic interventions are necessary to achieve the ministry's goal of establishing a regional defense and security hub in Africa and beyond.
We are doing it within our coast, and then be a hub, the regional hub within Africa, for other countries to come and utilize. So we are not just going to do for ourselves. We are looking at within East Africa, within the Africa region and beyond, so that we can be a hub for defense industry and providing solutions based on research and development. Yeah.
General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the Chief of Defense Forces, a keynote speaker at the event, highlighted the positive impact of multipolarity on African security. He cited increased military presence and geopolitical competition globally, using Somalia as an example.
Multipolarity has a number of implications for Africa's security. One is increased geopolitical competition for Africa's resources. Africa has once again become a center of geopolitical rivalries. We see this all around us in Sudan, Somalia, Mali, Libya. Once again, there is geopolitical competition for Africa by different powers. Anybody who has been to Somalia, deployed in Somalia, knows this, has experienced it. You see all the players there now. And don't only think of the big powers. There are middle powers also that are there fighting for influence.
National Enterprise Corporation, NEC, was established in 1989 by an Act of Parliament. NEC serves as the commercial arm of the UPDF, producing goods and services beneficial to defense forces and the general public. Its commercial ventures include production of high-level bulletproof vests and helmets, gun manufacturing, military trucks, explosives utilization support services, cattle fattening for beef exports, quality breeding bull supply to Ugandan farmers, natural mineral water production, among others. Serena Naguja, Israel Kawiye, BTM News Today.
Well, we do have Btm Health now coming up next. To today's Btm Health, we're going to be taking a look at some of the health benefits of the banana stem. Today, we're going to be going for a very short break, but when we return, we still have more news for you. So you just stay with us. Still to come, Uganda People's Congress has appealed to the school authorities to allow parents to clear their children's school fees in installments.
The economy is not doing well. Parents are struggling. Some parents have more than one children, so they cannot afford to pay all the school fees at once. So there should be a payment plan provided for by the schools.
And also, Ali Chibao, the abducted Tanzanian opposition leader, was found dead. When we return, that and more.
uliyo nga wekakasa eddoboozi lyo weetaaga okutumbula ekitundu eky'omukuyimba kano kekasiireko BTM TV akuleetedde Raise Your Mic yimba ate ensonga za kuyimbira ku live band ngate abawanguzi bakwewangulya ebirabo eby'enjawulo okuli obukadde bw'ensimbi 5 pikipiki kapyata okulikodinga nyimba mu audio ne vidiyo n'ebirabo ebirala bingi okwetaba mu Raise Your Mic genda ku simu yo nyiga *2M7 olondeko option ya Raise Your Mic olondeko option ya Participate osindike message buterevu ojja kuba weetabe mu auditions wano ku BTM TV abaana babayiseemu ku mutendera oguddako bakulondebwa abalabi bafe aba BTM era beewangulira ebirabo biwegiddwa Simba Automotives ne bikutuusibwako BTM TV.
Discover delicacy at Cafe 2, your all-in-one destination. Whether it's the perfect cup of coffee or a satisfying meal, we got you covered. Indulge your cravings with our mouth-watering pilau, savory katogo, crispy chips, and tender chicken. Explore our world of cocktails and fresh juices for a truly special treat. Planning an event? Choose Cafe 2 for top-notch outside catering services. Benefit from ample parking, stay connected with Wi-Fi, and catch your favorite matches on DSTV. Cafe 2 offers food deliveries in and around Kampala. Hosting a conference, our center accommodates up to 1,000 people. Need a boardroom for a party or corporate meeting? We've got just the spot for you. We offer a free venue for birthdays and baby showers, providing complimentary photography. For those aspiring to become professional baristas, our barista school awaits you. Visit us at Albany Center, Level 2 on Ginger Road. Cafe 2, where every occasion becomes a memorable experience.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Btm News Today. My name is Paul Collins. Now let's move on and see as the third term of the academic year is set to begin on next week, the 15th of September, the Uganda People's Congress Party, commonly known as UPC, has appealed to the school authorities to allow parents to clear their children's school fees in installments. Now, speaking at the party headquarters in Kampala, the party's spokesperson, Sharon Arachoyat, urged the school administrators to be considerate of the economic situation and also facilitate flexible payment plans to ensure a high concentration of students in schools. We have the report.
Addressing journalists at party headquarters in Kampala, party spokesperson Sharon Arach Oyat urged school administrators to consider the economic situation and facilitate flexible payment plans to ensure a high concentration of students in school.
The rates at which schools, institutions increase the prices of school fees vis-a-vis the inflation rate across the country. We also say schools should be able to be flexible enough to allow payment in installments. The economy is not doing well, parents are struggling, some parents have more than one children, so they cannot afford to pay all the school fees at once. So there should be a payment plan provided for by the schools to enable the parents to pay as and when they get, however, in installments that by the end of the term, they should have cleared their school fees.
Arach also appealed to parents to strive to meet their obligations, emphasizing the importance of collective effort, focus, and commitment to achieve a good performance.
This is fully aware that there is a lot to be covered from the school syllabus before our pupils or students sit for their end-of-year examinations. This demands for collective efforts total focus and commitment at all levels. Good performance that is sustainable, which comes through hard work, organization, close supervision, and monitoring.
She further expressed concerns over the persistent issue of inadequate textbooks and teacher shortages, which has hindered academic success, thus calling on the Ministry of Education and Sports to ensure a steady supply of instructional materials, including textbooks and visual aid to schools nationwide.
In the 80s, as UPC under the Milton Obote Foundation, we have institutions put in place that will produce textbooks, produce uniforms, and freely give to the various schools, that children will have the basic need of having books and pens and uniform to ensure a smooth running of a term.
The party spokesperson has also emphasized the need for improved school safety measures, including fire detectors, thunder deflectors, and regular security checks.
Installed fire detectors and thunder deflectors to ensure the safety, that there are no burglar, those windows that have burglar handles in them in schools. There should be free windows whereby a student, in case of a fire, can easily access and exit out of the dormitory. So these are things that government should be doing right now to ensure that these students are coming back, but they should be in a safe environment. And you also say the fire brigade, once you're called upon, please be on alert, especially if it's an institution like a school that has requested for emergency assistance. There should be fire brigades put next to schools. If there's an area that has a number of schools, there should be a fire brigade in each of the police stations across the country to help mitigate some of these losses.
John William Ogenda, Freddie Christie Sawo for Btm News Today.
News now coming up next.